Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War East. Let's continue where we left off previously, and that's still in turn 4. I do hope to wrap that one up during this episode. So let's get started. So last episode I talked about getting a potential encirclement over here, but then what I need to do at the very least is not only get some forces across here. Yeah, both of these in order to attack. I'll also take a look at any potential additional assign units that I can assign here. Yeah, Phlegm will do very well in that regard. And part of Panzerjäger Company, sure, that's fine. What? They probably only have Panzerjägers? No. Oh, okay, this flak on top of one of those transport trucks. Okay. Anyway, so then with these guys here, I also need to try to get in close. If I go in here, I won't take those hexes regardless. My main concern though is being unable to move the HQ back. I can move the HQ here, but it doesn't help. Still, I'm using a lot of engineer power. I lost a lot of tanks there, but at least those guys got out of there, and now they are encircled. So the question then is, how am I gonna deal with it? So I cannot move these, but I could probably move them. If I move you here, there's a pretty reasonable chance that I'll be able to also take both of those hexes. Indeed. So what I also want to do is I want to get this motorized unit over here. That's that. Now, if I move in here, I will not actually get that. What I can do though is 13, 10. Oh, okay. And then move in here and hope that will be enough. It probably won't. Probably won't. But we'll see. They'll be isolated at least for a turn, and yeah, it's hard moving for them through here anyway, I think. So there is that. Now, the other thing that I think is a bit of a problem here is this. So currently I have them pretty much just holding this area, and in all honesty, I actually think I want them to hold Ostrov, the Ostrov area, and just stay in reserve. I did want to take this hex because I think it's very likely. No, let's actually move you here. I think these guys might need it a lot more. Did put them on refit, but I don't think it matters at this point. So there is that. I can actually see these guys still breaking through here. But yeah, at this point, in that regard, there's just not a whole lot I can do here. So we'll move you up though. Then at least I still have this HQ there. You guys taking care of that, and there's that. Okay. So I'm actually done with Army Group North for this turn. Let's put you in reserve. Reserve is kind of like refit, but they also help. out in the attacks. If they go up here, I actually don't see them cutting me off here. Now, this, what does it contribute? Actually, nothing. So what I'll do for these is I'll actually move back and actually also refit the 12th Panzer Division. They need to rest either way as well. And I need to try and use them for something else. Well, actually I can probably move them up through there. That might actually be a bit better. So currently I do need to hold this area. What I'll do is I actually don't mind moving back a bit and just keeping my panzers here in reserve. And yeah, let's just keep you there for refit actually. That just overall seems to be better. Those guys have been nailed with. Like I said, I'll keep them there, but I need the HQ to also be in here. Let's move you back across the river, put you in refit, and I don't really see them breaking through here that quickly anymore. I'll also put these guys a refit there in Gorky, trying to get at least some energy back on those guys. Again, there's no reason for me to move them. You were already in refit, so they are looking fine. They're not gonna move. I took care of those. This is looking good. I'm probably too far away for quite a few of them. Yes, I am. Let's move this HQ to Borisov, so then at least they're in the clear. As for you, this is 14, 15, 10. Probably better off. Let's see where those supply dumps are. Yeah, let's move this to Bobrusk. And keep them there. This infantry can still move, so it would be a waste not to move them. There we go. None of these guys can do anything. This was extremely unlikely to work, and it didn't. Let's actually move that onto Riga. Why are you on the train? You there. Alright. So I have only Armor Group South to deal with right now. That's... yeah, you're in reserve, so that's good. You're on refit. You're on refit. You're on refit. I did talk about those guys there as well. How good is your movement coming in through here? Pretty decent, actually. And none of my other units can probably get into Vinitsa without any worries. Yeah, they cannot. This is the best they can do, and yeah, it basically means they cannot go in. What I'm inclined to do, though, is just leave the... oh, No, that's the wrong one. Oh my god. Man, that really sucks. What actually would be interesting is 6, 3, and then if I attack them. Whether it would be possible. This is obviously a very weak encirclement. I don't expect that encirclement to work. However, the only real encirclement that I want to maintain is this one. That's the most important one. And besides that, I do hope that there's a chance that that this will stick. Unlikely, but we'll see. I mean, they can just move in here and then they will have broken out. But that might make it a bit easier for any in any subsequent turns. I'll just put those two in refit. They're there's just no way that this is actually gonna work. No. You're also mostly just suffering from movement issues. Not that much fatigue yet either. Oh. Yeah, that's wow. Okay, interesting. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to do this beforehand, so now I have to put all of them under his motorized core individually. But I do still think that was quite worthwhile. Can I undo that because I... Wow. Still have the mobile brigade. Well, let's keep them all refit. Where are they gonna go? Because 7 SG, 125 dis. I don't know what that means. There's no unit in there, so that doesn't matter. There are 3 units. Oh, there's a 6th army. Where are the supply depots? There's only one there. I get it. Okay. Yeah, so the one thing that I want to do with these is at least also take a look here. All right. They are quite exhausted too. They lost most of their tanks anyway. They have a lot of recon tanks left, but who cares about that? And those recon tanks, supposedly, what are they? Rifle, motorcycle squad. It's not this. They have 15 of their recon tanks, and that's all. 15 and 14 medium. They have 12 damaged Panzer Cs, and just a bunch of damage of these other ones. All of them are damaged. But yeah, that's generally it. There's still an infantry division that is attached to it, which is very powerful, and I don't know where it is at the moment. Let's see. If only there was a way to move to the unit. But it doesn't actually even show me where the unit is. I don't need a wiki. There we are. Just follow the lines, I guess. It's protecting Gaesti. You don't need to do that. I'll have them join the 11th Army. On the next turn. And I suppose that's it. Yep. That seems to be it. Like I said, I'm just putting these guys in reserve. They have units all around Zhytomyr. No real sense in trying to do anything there. I'll just you know, bide my time for a little bit. And obviously these guys are going to be in a bit of trouble, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, yeah, like I said, Smolensk, Lost Cause, up here. I did what I wanted to do. Although, no, let's do this as well. Potentially, I'll grab enough additional hexes. Yeah. That it's actually worth it. Because every taken hex makes it tougher for the enemy to break the encirclements. Alright, there we go. No. Let's set the frontline depots. Yeah, AP 18. There's one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also... Oh, you can't have more than 6 assault HQs. Okay, I did not know that. Okay, so we have this, the 17th Army. At the very least, we have all 4 panzer groups currently as assault. Yeah, okay, I get it. Fair enough, alright. Just skipping through. Do hope that moving the groups will be a bit better. I did put a few of them under advance with frontline. So we'll see how much of an effect it has. I'm actually very, very curious to see whether any of the encirclements will stick during this turn. I am generally quite, well, I don't want to say perfectionistic, but I do have high expectations, and things are not going as well as I would have potentially liked. Yeah. Not sure what happened. They are building up defenses pretty fast, actually. I accidentally clicked the mouse button and now the game is in disarray. Interesting that these are actually still green. Because they should be cut off from supply and stuff. I really would have liked to take Propisk. It might cause some issues. We see a big line there. But they actually might have potentially already moved. These are just the units that I can see. They actually might have more. I'm actually quite sure they would have a unit in Mogilev. None of these units can move, though, at the very least. It seems like. So at least I'm happy about that. They do seem to perceive many of my units as very weak, and I would agree. At least my mobile units. They took back some territory. I'm not too... too happy generally with enemy turns. It's always it's actually quite stressful if I cannot see what they are doing, but the game will not allow me So I kind of just have to pray until I'm done, or they're done, basically. It's like, yeah, well, who knows? Can't look to the north, can't look to the south, while the Soviets are garrisoning their urban areas. I do tend to try and keep at least, or do some... Ah, come on, yeah. Okay, so they're very aggressive. They did break through here in this area, and once again, this is annoying. Alright. Very frustrating, that. Not sure why adding HQ support to units would take such a long time. I think hardly, or almost everything has very high priority. Alright, let's take a look. This one stuck. This one didn't, but that's not really that big of a surprise. Just like this one, just barely did not. How about down here? This one did, this one did. And then obviously this one did not. No real major surprises. But I do think that this might help me a little bit moving forward. Let's execute the air directives. I'll probably be able to repocket whatever they have in this sector. And I'm still looking to make another encirclement on this side towards Veliki Luki. Most of these units seem to have remained in that position as well. Soviet forces back up to what they were before. New events. The V sign. On July the 19th, 1941, Prime Minister Winston Churchill referred approvingly to the V for Victory campaign in a speech. From this point, he started using the V hand sign. The V sign was unofficially adopted as the Allied signal, along with the motive of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. The Germans also adopted the V sign, sometimes adding laurel leaves under it, painting their own Vs on walls, vehicles, and adding a massive V on the Eiffel Tower. Axis capture Salmi. Advancing Finnish forces reached the north shore of Lake Ladoga and capture Salmi. Ladoga Karelia is captured by the Axis. Yeah, so this is now added to our You know, capture region. Sweet. They seem to be building up a new defensive line there. They got some. Well, these are the guys that will have to do it. I mean, these guys are encircled, so. The hope is that it won't be that much trouble to clear them out, but well, it'll probably be an illusion to think it's gonna be that easy. Okay. Now, what a joke. There we go. Now they're gone. Alright. I'll leave the clearing up of this pocket at least to the 26th and the 1st Corps. They're both relatively small, but it should be enough. Yeah, so that will then, it seems, at least allow me to move further up into this area as well. Seems like, indeed, as I said, they're trying to build a defense around here. Now, if I can capture Tallinn without pretty much getting into too much trouble, then which other? Oh yeah, you have these guys. Okay, so moving that rail does not work. Those kind of have to drag along. What I'll do though is, how far can you? It matters not. Okay, I'll leave the Polizei division, and I will use them for this core as well. So they'll be put on the 38th. So these guys are tasked with taking all these other areas and getting into Tallinn. While I also will have another unit on this side that will deal with this region. And as I said, this is no longer going to pose a threat, so it might take a little while, but we'll clear them. Being unable to do a hard attack here means I'm much better off just disengaging and refitting them while they're going to try and, well, potentially launch an assault later on, but moving into Estonia like that, I guess we're fine. Looking at the historical dates as well here, city capture dates, this is well into August. Well, this is July 9th, but and this 10th apparently, so we're actually behind on these, but then with some of these others we're ahead slightly. But if they're going to build a new defensive line along that, what's the historical capture date for Tallinn? 29th of August. Okay. Seems like the line that they made here now is a lot more solid, but it might still give me an opportunity for an encirclement on this side here, like going through here, something along those lines. The most important thing is going to be this rail line, for if I can just get around it, and then I'll be in a good shape. Of course, I also have to deal with this here encirclement. I really sometimes wonder what they use then in order to connect, because, you know, there's nothing here. It's so weird. So yeah, it's just weird. Anyway, let's continue with pocket clearing. Nope. So these, it's just a disaster. Alright, finally we got one. I understand these security divisions aren't particularly the pinnacle of the German army, but this is just embarrassing. I wonder what they could possibly have that is like a problem there, but have it your way. Anyway. That's it pretty much for most of the encirclements. I mean, I'll continue to work on this. It does get less and less every time. And here I was thinking you could go back, huh? Of course. Well, this will not work probably. No. But I don't think they can move. I won't immediately expect them to be able to take that. Alright, here we go. So interestingly enough, they did try to build like a new defense. Seems like they kind of gave up on this area now. Pretty interesting the way that works. Just gonna do a very few things here. So out here, or at least currently, I can take all of those territories by moving into these two locations, and then they have a unit there at least. Moving through that region in that way is actually quite terrible. But I'll be kind of surprised if they actually would have lived. At least they're doing a little bit better. Even these, they went back to 8 at least. Did they get a few more tanks? I guess they did get a few. Not much. But some. Alright, either way, I'm going to wrap things up here. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone. See you next time, and bye-bye.